on News Hour tonight. 5 killed, dozens kidnapped in Zamfara raid. Fertilizer costs pushed Gombe farmers out of grain farming. NDLEA finds drugs in mirrors, lipsticks and shoes during raids. And on the foreign scene, Tshisekedi seeks genocide recognition for Congo victims. Good evening and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Dorcas Yakubuzala. We begin the news on security matters. At least 5 people have been killed and dozens abducted after armed bandits attacked 16 villages in Kauranamoda local government area of Zamfara state over the weekend. Locals said the attackers struck between Saturday and Sunday, targeting communities including Isa, Tudu, Gidan Haruna and others. 1 person was killed in Gidan Haruna while 8 women were abducted. On Sunday morning, 4 people, Abubakar, Murtala, Aminu and Bello, were killed in Kwalo village, while another, Ashafa, sustained gunshot injuries to the jaw and waist and was taken to Kauranamoda General Hospital. Witnesses said Kwalo had become a frequent route for bandits. After local vigilantes blocked their return path Saturday night and engaged them in a gun battle, the bandits returned Sunday in larger numbers, stormed a vigilante meeting point and opened fire. 4 guards were killed, 1 injured, and scores of women kidnapped. The attackers also looted food items and household belongings. Fear is spreading in Katsina state as armed bandits issue threats and launch fresh attacks in several communities across Malumfashi, Faskari, Bakori and Kusada local government areas. Bandits have ordered residents of Ungwarikiri and Tudun Amiru in Malumfashi to leave within 24 hours or face deadly attacks. Many families, mostly women and children, fled with few belongings, seeking safety in nearby towns. In Faskari, bandits raided Ungwarbuntu, looted shops, but were repelled during an attempt to rustle animals and abduct residents. In Bakuri, attacks on multiple villages left a woman, her child, and a medicine vendor dead. Hundreds of livestock were also stolen. Over 200 armed men stormed Tufani village in Kusada, rustling more than 100 cows, though no casualties were recorded. The Katsina Police Command has vowed to stay vigilant and urge residents to report suspicious activity to help tackle the ongoing insecurity. Now joining us via phone call is Abdullahi Yamadi to give us an update on the incident. Good evening, Abdullahi, and thanks for joining us on the News Hour.
Thank you, Dorcas.
All right, so what do we know so far about the attacks?
Well, people are in serious fear across the frontline local government areas and, of course, across the, vulnerable local government across the state. You know, we have frontline local government and, of course, we have vulnerable local government. So people are in a serious fear of attack because due to the rainy season and of course the vegetation cover, the bandits take advantage of this scenario to launch attacks on vulnerable communities, especially in isolated communities, local communities in this local government.
All right, so what are officials saying? Has there been any statements from law enforcement agencies or the government?
Well, even last week, we have had a press briefing with the Commissioner of Security, Internal Security and Home Affairs in Katsina, where he reiterated the need for collaboration and local support to security agencies. And of course, he maintained the position of government of fighting the bandits, saying that there is serious need for support to security agencies, especially by locals, through provision of intelligence reports from the local communities to be able to dwarf the bandits across the state.
All right, thank you so much, Abdullahi, for joining us and giving us that update.
Thank you most sincerely, Lucas.
Still talking politics, still talking security, troops of Sector 2 under Operation Hadinkai have killed 3 Boko Haram terrorists during a clearance operation in Bulabulin Forest near Borno Yesu in Magumeri local government area of Borno State. The operation was executed by a combined force involving Sector 2 ground troops, a Nigerian Air Force, Special Forces Tactical Team, and the Civilian Joint Task Force as part of ongoing efforts to dislodge insurgents from their hideouts. Military authorities said the terrorists were neutralized after a fierce gun battle, while several others fled the scene with gunshot injuries. The clearance mission was conducted under aerial surveillance and ground coordination from multiple security agencies. Recovered items from the operation included 2 brand new motorcycles, AK-47 rifles, 4 fully loaded magazines, 120 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition, grenades, 2 bandoliers, and combat packs. In Benue State, troops of Operation Wild Stroke (OPWS) have made significant advances in security operations across the state, recovering weapons, neutralizing bandits, and dismantling criminal camps over the weekend. During a patrol on Saturday, troops stormed Se Adudu in Banga Tongo Council Ward following intelligence reports of illegal cattle grazing on farmlands. Suspected armed herders fled upon sighting the soldiers, abandoning a cache of weapons including an AK-47 rifle, a magazine, and 5 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition, all hidden in a blanket inside a makeshift hut. Force Commander of OPWS, Major General Moses Gara, praised the troops for their swift response and acknowledged the role of local residents whose information led to the recovery. He reiterated the operation's goal of restoring peace and safeguarding livelihoods in the region. In a related development, troops from the 401 Special Forces Brigade and Sector 1 of OPWS, working with local hunters, carried out a clearance operation in Tatog, Makurdi local government area. The patrol covered several hotspot villages. During the operation, troops engaged armed bandits in Se Akajime. 1 was killed in the firefight, while others escaped with injuries. Still in Benue State, a total of 49 births have been recorded in just 1 month at the internally displaced persons camp clinic located at the International Market in Makurdi, Benue State. Executive Secretary of the Benue State Primary Health Care Board, Grace Ashiwende, disclosed this during a monitoring visit to the camp, which currently shelters victims of the recent Yelwata attack. She also revealed that 380 pregnant women at the camp are nearing delivery, while 490 accessed antenatal care services during the period. Wende commended the Benue State Ministry of Health, UNICEF, and Save the Children for their support, particularly for providing water facilities and hygiene supplies to improve conditions at the camp. And now in Plateau State, at least 50 houses, including schools and a worship center, were on Sunday reportedly destroyed by a heavy rainfall in Menkat community of Shimankar district of Shandam local government area of the Plateau. Residents of the community said the damages from the downpour wreaked havoc in the affected community. The residents added that electric poles and trees had fallen on some houses. Reports said the devastating windstorm that accompanied the rain started in the early hours of Sunday morning. He added that many houses had their roofs blown off while other buildings collapsed. Councillor representing Shamankar, Mazawaji Daniel Danjuma, said the incident had also destroyed farms with many crops, especially rice, ruined by flooding and sand. Lawrence Longwak, also a resident of the community, lamented that the damages called for intervention from relevant authorities. Now talking politics, ahead of the forthcoming INEC continuous voter registration exercise, the resident electoral commissioner for Plateau State, Abubakar Sadiq, is seeking public collaboration towards ensuring a smooth and transparent exercise in the state. The REC disclosed this in Jos during a courtesy call on the chairman of Plateau State Independent Electoral Commission, where he reaffirmed INEC's commitment to a timely and efficient CVR exercise in Plateau State. He announced that the exercise will take place in 2 phases: online pre-registration, which begins Monday, August 18th, and physical registration set to commence on August 25th across all 17 local government areas.
The State Independent Electoral Commission. So meaning we have a common mandate. One for us in the National Independent National Electoral Commission, we are in charge of the presidential, gubernatorial, National Assembly and the FCT. They are in charge of election in the local government areas and the local government councils. So in that brotherhood, I came in about 2 months ago, and I thought I should organize myself with the staff of the organization.
This is a sign of better collaboration between INEC and State Independent Electoral Commission, that's Plateau. So we've discussed areas of collaboration. For the moment, our concentration will be on the CVR, continuous voter registration.
The African Democratic Congress, ADC, in Zamfara State has raised an alarm that they have been denied a venue to hold their event after making payment. The state's chairman of the party, Kabiru Garba, said the action may be connected to the fact that ADC is a formidable opposition party threatening the ruling party. The report.
African Democratic Congress, ADC, the political party adopted by coalition ahead of the 2027 election, is facing difficulties to stamp its authority across the states. The chairman of the parties in Zamfara State, Kabiru Garba, is accusing some hotel management of conniving with the ruling party to frustrate party activities.
Normally, we used to celebrate Handshake Day because, once you see a ADC symbol, you see handshake. And July 26 were marked for us to celebrate the day, at least to show a happiness, to celebrate with ourselves, to build relationship. And the essence for seeing them in the office, we initially planned it on 26, but because of what happened in Gusau, and that is why we postponed it to today. But you see, people are calm, but due to some reasons, due to some certain issues, a lot of people deny us to use their premises, despite the fact that we failed.
The women leader of the ADC, Mariam Abdullahi, said the ruling APC has failed to address the insecurity and poverty in the country. According to her, ADC will address these challenges when elected into power.
What will ADC do? It has already been seen by the individuals, by peoples, because we are creating much opportunities to the peoples. So we don't even need to say, we are not the one that we say what we are going to do. The populace have already seen, or they are witnessing what ADC can do. That is why, if you can see, we have large people that want, or they are already in the ADC. Because, you see, we give opportunities to disabilities, the young ones. They are our #1 priority, because we believe youth are the backbone of the society. So without the youth, then definitely any society that did not put more emphasis on their youth, then that society is definitely down.
They noted that party members are going from house to house to mobilize people, especially women, who are the voting strength in Zamfara State, into the ADC ahead of the 2027 general elections.
Now, away from political matters, farmers in Gombe State are raising alarm over the rising cost of fertilizer, which they say is now higher than the value of the crops they produce. Many are abandoning staple crops like maize and rice, warning that without urgent intervention, the nation's food security may be under threat. Hassan Koli completes the report.
Across farmlands in Yamal to Deba, Akko, and other farming communities in Gombe State, the farming season is ongoing. However, the mood is far from hopeful. Local farmers say the cost of fertilizer, especially urea and NPK, has skyrocketed, making it more expensive than the berry crops they rely on for income.
This year is very, very costly, the fertilizer. Very unfortunate to us farmers. We find it very difficult to buy fertilizer because if you compare fertilizer and a bag of beans, bag of maize, it's unquantified because you can sell 2 bags of maize, cannot buy you a bag of fertilizer. This is discouraging the farmers to farm because when you think of the fertilizer and it will not encourage you to go to farm again. And without farming, we will find it very difficult to survive. As a farmer, we live on this farming.
As a result, many farmers are choosing to skip maize and rice cultivation altogether, shifting instead to crops that requires less input or abandoning their farms completely. While the state government has rolled out subsidized fertilizer, farmers say the quantities are too small to make any real impact. Agricultural unions and local cooperatives are now calling on the federal and state governments to regulate fertilizer pricing and boost the availability of input support to prevent looming food crisis.
Actually, it will equally affect farming because sometimes a farmer uses what he has, take it to the market and sell it and buy fertilizer. So with this scenario, with this happening, it will actually affect farming. But in the same way, that fertilizer of the one that governor has provided to farmers, it will also help in farming. But that issue, we cannot say anything about it. Sometimes this happens that way. But we're throwing the blame to the farmers, to the fertilizer sellers. They're the one causing this issue. But we're calling onto them, let them bring down the cost of fertilizer so that the farmer can afford it.
Experts also warn that if farmers continue to withdraw from food production due to high input cost, Nigeria's effort toward full self-sufficiency could be reversed. As the rains continue and the planting window narrows, the message from Gombe's farmers is clear. Without price control and wider support, the harvest season may bring more hardship than hope. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
The Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has warned that those involved in hoarding, diversion and illegal sale of fertilizers will be prosecuted. He disclosed this during the official flag-off ceremony and launching of the 2025 wet farming season sales of fertilizers at subsidized rate to farmers in Borno State. Trust TV's Beatrice Kuritsi has more.
The 50% subsidized fertilizer initiative, according to the governor, is to make the commodity accessible and affordable for farmers to boost agricultural produce and provision of other farm inputs at low cost. He directed security agencies to arrest and prosecute anyone found guilty of diversion, hoarding, and illegal sale of the fertilizers. He urged security agencies to allow farmers access their farmlands and curtail criminal activities that could affect agricultural activities.
The distribution of 75 trucks of fertilizers to the vulnerable population in Borno State, especially the farmers, at a subsidized rate of 50%. In addition to the distribution of fertilizers, we are also providing other agricultural inputs to farmers at no cost. The same means any individual or group caught diverting, hoarding, or illegally reselling this fertilizer will face the full wrath of the law.
I wish to respectfully draw His Excellency's attention to the immense potential of the Borno fertilizer plant. The facility remains in good operational condition and if fully activated through a well-structured public-private partnership, can play a transformative role in ensuring timely, affordable, and localized access to quality fertilizer across the state.
Thereafter, the governor inspected the Alo Dam reconstruction project to visibly assess the level of work. He expressed delight with the contractors for full resumption at the site. He hinted on review of the state's master plan to avert possible floods.
The contractors have now fully resumed. We have nothing than to commend the federal government of Nigeria, commend President Tinubu, because he has approved about 80 billion naira for the construction. One is that we want to look at the master plan and then see where distortions are being made with a view to rectifying all anomalies. But the bottom of the matter is that we must go back to the drawing board and then look at the master plan and ensure that all tributaries, all waterways shall be cleared so as to allow inflow of water to the main canals, main rivers.
The rehabilitation of Alo Dam is expected to mitigate flood in the state. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
This is News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up ahead. Ibadan small business owners decry loan barriers, seek financial support. This and many more when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back. In case you're just joining, this is News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. 5 killed, dozens kidnapped in Zamfara raid. And fertilizer cost pushed Gombe farmers out of grain farming. Now moving on to more stories, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has intercepted large quantities of cocaine, tramadol, and other drugs hidden in mirrors, lipsticks, and footwear during raids in Lagos, Abuja, and several states. At Lagos Airport, officials seized a shipment headed to Gabon containing 57,420 tramadol pills and 1.6 kilograms of cocaine concealed in 71 vehicle side mirrors. The arrest of a cargo agent led to the recovery of more cocaine from a second suspect, bringing the total to 2.6 kilograms. In another case, cocaine and phenacetin concealed in lipsticks and bound for Equatorial Guinea were traced to a businesswoman at the trade fair complex. Her husband is still on the run. In Abuja, dispatch riders were caught delivering Canadian loud cannabis, while others were arrested with 91.1 kilograms of skunk. More arrests and seizures were made in Benue, Edo, Borno, Ogun, Oyo, Delta, Bayelsa, Kano, and Osun. The agency also continued its anti-drug sensitization campaign across schools, worship centers, and palaces. A group of determined women in Gombe State have launched an initiative aimed at strengthening online business skills among small-scale female entrepreneurs. Calling themselves Ambitious Women, the group is pushing digital platforms as a way for women to earn a living while navigating cultural and religious norms that limit physical interaction with men. The report.
As the world turns digital, so do the hopes of many women in Gombe State. A growing number of female traders are now turning to social media and online markets to sell clothes, cosmetics, food items, and household goods. Spearheading this movement is a local group called Ambitious Women, a network of female entrepreneurs advocating for safer, culturally accepted ways for women to engage in business.
About 80% of housewives in Bombay were scared to invest in any business. So that is why I decided to introduce the knowledge of online business, where they can sell thousands of goods online while remaining in their houses. I expect that at the end of the day, this program or the collaboration will bring about positive changes and also can lead to increase in number of businesswomen in Gombe State.
Through mentorship, digital training, and WhatsApp group marketplaces, the women say they are empowering themselves and others without breaching religious or societal boundaries. For small-scale sellers like Joy Riyad, the platform has been a game changer.
This program is very important, not to me only, for all the women, because I earn a lot of advice about the business, how to be an entrepreneurship, and a lot more. Because either you have product at home or you don't have, you can share your partner what he sells, so that people will see and add your profit to earn something about that business.
Limited internet access, poor digital literacy, and lack of capital still pose obstacles for many rural women. Despite this, the movement is gaining ground and attracting attention from NGOs and digital training hubs.
We are offering classes like how they're going to market their product online. So because of most of them, they are not aware on social media development on business strategies.
Experts say capital is the most crucial aspect in sustaining a small-scale businesses.
Our association at the national level has signed an MOU with the Bank of Industry. It was signed that all our members that have the Corporate Affairs Commission certificate, at least business name, can obtain can access the loan. The loan is 5 million naira, and with the interest rate of 9%, and the moratorium of that loan will be 6 months.
As the ambitious women continue their digital journey, they are proving that when empowered with the right tools, women can thrive online and beyond. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
In Ibadan, small business owners are calling on the government and financial institutions to provide accessible and affordable credit facilities to boost business growth and sustainability. The appeal was made during the launch of a digital cooperative savings scheme designed to empower Nigerians amid tough economic conditions. The report.
In Ibadan, small and medium-sized business owners continue to grapple with major obstacles such as limited access to finance, multiple taxation, and inconsistent government policies, all of which impact profit margins and stifle growth. Aboderin Rafiu Alabi, a 48-year-old textile trader, expressed frustration over the lack of stable policies and the difficulty of addressing tailored banking solutions for small businesses.
It's easy for me to expand my market, but the time when I go to the bank, the thing where they ask for, I don't get it. They ask for collateral like house, car, and something like that. But you didn't have. See all the thing I'm selling now. I need more money to establish my market. The time when I did Shark Bag itself, I get one small shop, but there's no money to establish my market. That's why I came back here to come and manage here. But if I see a lot of money now, I know I can move to another shop to establish my market.
Another business owner, Ismail Ademola Oladile, shared his experience navigating Nigeria's harsh business environment. He made an emotional appeal to authorities to step in and support the survival of small enterprises.
What I would like to say is that if government can help us in one way or the other, just to expand our business, or even banks.
The launch of the Digital Cooperative Initiative is seen as a strategic step in modernizing Nigeria's cooperative financing system. The scheme aims to enhance communal savings and investments, along with the Oyo State government's economic agenda for empowering small businesses as critical partners in development.
This is going to be a product that is for the people. It is a cause for us to go out and help the unbanked, help the people that have very low access to funding, especially the informal sector. I remember someone asked earlier, how are we going to reach these people? we're going to make sure that we are penetrating, helping them become very vast when it comes to how to use the platform.
As you are familiar with what others are doing in banking, what others are doing with money market, as well as credit, this team has been able to merge everything together. They've been able to build an ecosystem. And I will say congratulations to every one of us in this room, because we are part and we are alive when this is being done.
We've been able to now enhance the business environment such that credit is needed for most businesses to be able to fund the expansion currently going on. But you need a very low level of credit for you to be able to achieve that. And you also need a common platform that can actually use us to be able to get cooperative society together.
To overcome the systemic challenges, experts recommend that small business owners seek alternative financing models, adopt digital marketing tools, invest in renewable energy to reduce operational costs, and actively advocate for consistent and business-friendly policies.
Ongoing awareness and community sensitization are key to addressing the challenges faced by internally displaced persons, especially women and girls. The initiative focuses on their unique vulnerabilities and aims to support long-term reintegration. Gibson Sawadigo reports.
The goal is to find lasting solutions that allow displaced persons to rebuild their lives. Stakeholders stress the need for stronger collaboration between the government agencies and development partners to provide real support and prevent further displacement. This thinking informed a recent workshop held to build awareness and drive sustainable action.
And this action plan is aimed at resettling all affected communities and affected persons permanently. That is why it is called Durable Solution. And ours is not only Durable Solution, but we nickname it as Homegrown Durable Solution.
It's an all-inclusive, because we're trying to develop a sustainable and inclusive durable solution for our state.
While the state government's efforts were acknowledged, speakers at the event called for more robust partnership to reduce the risks of displacement, especially the toll it takes on women and children.
People who have lost their homes, and maybe some of them have lost their loved ones and their hopes. So this is a high time that we work for them and bring them back on their feet to survive with grace and dignity. Especially, I would like to highlight the position of children here.
The workshop reflects a shared resolve among stakeholders to build practical long-term solutions and stop the cycle of displacement. Gibson Soadugo, Trust TV News, Yola.
Now, in a bold step toward improving child nutrition and empowering women economically, the Jigawa State government has trained and graduated 600 women in the production of the locally sourced nutritional blend known as Tom Brown. The report.
The initiative, which falls under the state's broader nutrition and empowerment strategy, focuses on teaching the women how to make kwashapap, a fortified mix of millet, soybeans, and groundnut, targeted at addressing moderate acute malnutrition (MAM) in children. Speaking at the graduation ceremony held at the Government House in Duse, Governor Omar Namadi described the program as a practical community-based solution to both malnutrition and poverty. He emphasized that the Tom Brown blend has proven health benefit and is effective in combating child undernutrition.
While empowering those trained under the program to improve their means of livelihood, this is also another formidable strategy in addressing the challenge of malnutrition in children in our state. The initiative will also help in preventing cognitive impairment in children, so safeguarding their potentials to live a life of fulfillment as adults.
To support the women in starting their business, each graduate received a starter kit that included sealing machines and raw materials. The state is also collaborating with local councils and health centers to ensure the locally made Tom Brown is distributed through existing child nutrition programs.
The Tom Brown milk
which we refer to tamowa as people knows it. We usually buy it from other sources, including other states or even maybe outside the country. So it is in the vision of His Excellency through this agency of ours that we decided to train 600 women on how to prepare it, do it and package it well hygienic, well sanitized, so that the primary health care centers in the local government will be able to be purchasing from those local women that are within the domain, so that we can maintain our money.
According to the 2024 National Demographic and Health Survey, Jigawa's child stunting rate has fallen from 64% in 2018 to 55% in 2014. Governor Namadi credited the progress to community-led interventions such as this training program. He reiterated his administration's resolve to rely less on imported nutrition products by investing in local solutions that are sustainable and culturally appropriate. He also highlighted Jigawa's active involvement in the World Bank-backed Accelerating Nutrition Results in Nigeria (ANRIN) initiative, aimed at improving nutrition for women and young children. One of the graduates, Hadiza Ibrahim, expressed gratitude on behalf of the beneficiaries, stating that the training not only gave them a source of income, but also a chance to contribute meaningfully to the health and future of children in their communities.
We will not take this opportunity for granted. By God's will, we will produce high-quality Tom Brown, distribute it to hospitals and ensure that only the children who are eligible receive it. We are determined to eliminate malnutrition from Jigawa State.
As the state deepens its commitment to grassroots health and economic reforms, the Tom Brown initiative stands as a model of how local capacity, when supported by strong political will, can deliver lasting solutions to complex developmental challenges.
Nigeria's transition to cleaner, cheaper energy is in focus again as lawmakers intensify scrutiny of the compressed natural gas policy. The House of Representatives held an investigative hearing to examine how far the initiative has gone and where it may be falling short. The report.
The federal government's push toward compressed natural gas (CNG) as a clean alternative to petrol is under the spotlight. 1 year after Nigeria launched its CNG policy, lawmakers say the promises are falling short, raising fresh questions about transparency, funding and delivery. The Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, says the initiative is crucial to Nigeria's energy transition.
This hearing marks a crucial moment in our collective oversight responsibility, especially as it concerns the federal government's strategic transition from traditional fuel to cleaner and more affordable energy solutions. The essence of this public hearing cannot be overstated, as it reflects our legislative commitment to transparency, accountability, and effective policy implementation.
But lawmakers say the rollout has been slow and uneven. Ad hoc committee chairman Jaha Usman warns that the ambitious plan could fail without urgent reforms.
For me, it's not about the number of vehicles that are converted. My concern is the infrastructure that will be available to service these cars that are converted. Sustainability is the most important thing. You rightly said Rome was not built in one day. But you should equally understand that it's the same Rome that was destroyed by the complacency of the Romans. If there is complacency in this program, there is no way this program is going to succeed. I don't want a situation whereby, even though I have hope and confidence in this program because of private sector's investment, involvement, and participation.
Stakeholders at the event assured the committee of commitment to ensure the success of the CNG program in Nigeria.
Committed to working out the spreadsheet as we're observing the setting up of these conversion centers at the different geopolitical zones, and more are still coming up. So it's still a work in progress. But I'm like you exactly questioned. We believe that yes, we are on the track of ensuring equitable distribution across the country. We've started and we're committed to it. And in no short time, we'll achieve overall distribution across the geopolitical zones of the Federation.
Right here today to say 12 months after our program started implementation, May of last year, we've raised the number of conversion centers in Nigeria to over 300 from 7. Not because government was building those conversion centers, but because the PCNGI developed programs to incentivize the creation of those conversion centers by the private sector in line with Mr. President's directive that we catalyze the sector and we do not replace the sector. You agree with me that if we had started awarding contracts to build conversion centers, we will probably not have 20 of them in Nigeria today.
To safeguard the long-term implementation of CNG and the safety of Nigeria, FRSC respectively recommends A. Legislative support to formalize the certification of CNG workshops and vehicle conversions procedures. B. Budgetary backing for the training of enforcement personnel and acquisition of diagnostic tools for CNG inspections.
As Nigeria works to build a cleaner energy future, lawmakers insist that bold policies must come with real, measurable results and accountability.
You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. More news after the break. Many thanks for staying with us. In case you're just joining, this is News Hour on Trust TV. And now in business, Saudi Arabia, Russia, and 6 other OPEC Plus countries have agreed to boost oil production by 547,000 barrels per day starting September. The group, known as the Voluntary Eight, includes Iraq, UAE, Kuwait, Kazakhstan, Algeria, and Oman. The increase, aimed at regaining market share amid resilient oil prices, represents a 1.5% hike in their current output. Analysts say the move is unlikely to cause a price spike, with Brent crude trading around $70 a barrel. A decision follows a gradual reversal of past output costs and may be adjusted based on market conditions. A full OPEC Plus ministerial meeting is scheduled for November. Now, away from Nigeria, President Felix Tshisekedi of the Democratic Republic of Congo has urged the international community to recognize the decades-long violence in the country as genocide. His appeal came during a national memorial in Kinshasa to honor millions killed in conflicts driven largely by the illegal exploitation of natural resources. A remembrance ceremony held at the Genocost Memorial featured testimonies from survivors, artistic tributes, and a symbolic flame lighting. Government officials and artists gathered to demand justice for what Tshisekedi called a creeping genocide. International reports, including a UN mapping project, have long documented mass killings, sexual violence, and displacement, especially in eastern DRC, fueled by armed groups and resource looting. 6 more Palestinians have died of starvation and malnutrition in Gaza in the past 24 hours, raising the total toll to 175, almost half of them children, since the conflict began, according to Gaza's health ministry. The humanitarian crisis comes as Egyptian state media reports that 2 trucks carrying 107 tons of diesel are set to cross into Gaza. However, there was no immediate confirmation that the fuel had reached its destination. Hospital operations remain crippled by fuel shortages, forcing medical teams to treat only the most critical patients. Aid access to Gaza remains limited, with the United Nations and aid agencies warning of looming famine. Israel has announced temporary pauses in military operations and permitted limited airdrops, but UN officials insist these steps are insufficient and stress the need for more aid to enter by land. Israel blames Hamas for the worsening humanitarian conditions. The conflict was sparked by the October 2023 attack, in which Hamas killed over 1,200 people and took 251 hostages. And now in sports, Nigeria women's basketball team, the Tigress, have become the first team to win the FIBA Women's Afrobasket 5 times in a row after defeating Mali on Sunday. Recall that the Tigress advanced into the final of the 2025 FIBA Women's Afrobasket with a 75-68 victor over Senegal on Saturday. This is the 7th time Nigeria is winning the trophy. Nigerian international Ademola Lookman has formally requested a transfer from Italian club Atalanta, accusing the Serie A side of breaking an earlier agreement to let him leave if a fair offer came in. In a statement posted on Instagram, Lookman expressed frustration, saying the club is now blocking offers despite previous mutual consent. He described the situation as one of broken promises and poor treatment, adding that he felt compelled to speak out after months of silence. A 26-year-old forward who joined Atalanta in 2022 was instrumental in their UEFA Europa League triumph and has consistently delivered strong performances. He also became the club's first active player nominated for the Ballon d'Or and was named CAF African Footballer of the Year in 2024. Lookman thanked Atalanta fans for their support and said he hopes to resolve the matter amicably while emphasizing his deep connection with the club and city. Now, residents of Jalingo, the Taraba state capital, have raised concerns over the substantial monetary rewards granted to the Nigerian Super Falcons by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu following their performance at the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON. According to some residents, the gifts are a misplaced priority as other critical sectors remain unattended to. The report.
Following the Super Falcons' historic victory at the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu honored the team with national awards and announced financial rewards for the players and management. The announcement was made during a ceremony at the presidential villa in Abuja on Monday, July 28, 2025. The president conferred the national honor of Officer of the Order of the Niger on the team and gifted each of the 24 regular players $100,000 and a 3-bedroom flat in Abuja. Additionally, each member of the coaching staff received $50,000, totaling over 2 billion naira in rewards. However, the gesture has sparked criticism among citizens, with many describing it as excessive amid pressing national challenges. Some residents in Jalingo, Taraba State, expressed dissatisfaction with the federal government's priorities, arguing that critical infrastructure and public welfare issues remain unaddressed. They pointed to the collapsed Namnai Bridge, which has claimed hundreds of lives over the past year, yet has seen no reconstruction efforts from either the federal or state government. Others highlighted the ongoing strike by the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, which has left public hospitals understaffed and patients suffering.
All of us, we love football, we like football, but in one way or the other, if you look at the situation, the state of the nation today, there are a lot of issues, all these flood everywhere, bandits everywhere, and what have you. But we in Taraba here, we don't have issues of bandits unless we can say only flood and what have you. So if at all, the federal government can release which amount of money and give to a player, what is all about the common man? We, the masses on ground, we have a lot of problems.
Motivation. They are trying to motivate them so that to put more effort. It is good.
Okay, considering that
they don't consider the country on problems. They consider what is happening now. Assuming say they are considering this thing, they cannot even give them 100. How many hospitals do we have? How many roads do we have? We don't have shelters, we don't have food to eat for ourselves, and somebody alone has been giving 170 something million. I supposed to question these things.
Constructing roads and ensuring that our children in school get the best education, but I also feel that it is at his discretion to do whatever he feels like doing, and those are people who won and they deserve what they want. So I feel if it's a way of appreciating them, fine, but it doesn't mean that the other aspects should also be neglected.
Affected citizens, particularly those impacted by the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives strike, urged the government to prioritize healthcare and infrastructure over sport reward.
People are suffering. Look at education, health, agriculture. People doesn't have food to buy, money to buy food. Rice is cheaper, maize is cheaper, but there's no money in the country. So I see no reason that Mr. President is giving a player 100 million or 10 million. That one is extravagant. It's not a proper thing. If you want to award these people, award them in the very good things.
It's not supposed to be so. Maybe they are not being paid as and when due, and maybe there are things that they are supposed to be misplaced priority, so to speak, because Nigerians are suffering, considering the situation on the ground. People are looking for what to eat, and these players were given 150 million plus 3-bedroom bungalow in Abuja, and this is too much.
They called on the country's leaders to prioritize the welfare of the people and work towards national development.
And that's a wrap on News Hour. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms for more programs, news and documentaries. My name is Katsina. Good night.